Now, we're going to get into a predicted lineup, and it's going to be a fairly difficult one to predict with all the new signings and everything going into it. Before we get into that predicted lineup, I just want to give out a big shout out to our sponsors, BetMate, who are sponsoring the stream. Big shout out to them, big love to them. They've been sponsoring a lot of the match preview streams throughout the season, and they continue to be one of our favorite sponsors. They are a fantasy app which you can actually win actual money by using your football knowledge, putting it to the test. All you do is, with each game, there's loads of different games on the BetMate app. If you download it, click the QR code on screen right now, you get directed to the WeAreTottenhamTV private code. You're going to be up against me and Ben this week. It's completely free to enter. There's £100 of prize money up for grabs. You pick, on screen, as you can see, you pick 7 players in your team, which is only specific to that one game. You can only pick, I think it's 6 players from one team in total, including the bench players as well. So it works very similar to fantasy football. You get points for goals, assists, but also in the new reformatted point system for defensive players, you get points for tackles, interceptions. For each goalkeeper save they make, you get a point as well. So there's lots of opportunities to win points. And my team at the moment I've picked for this game says I've actually picked Paquetá captain. I have to change that. I thought I picked Kudus captain, but we'll get into it. But Vicario in goal. I've got Romero and Juff in the back line. Romero because he makes a lot of duels and he gets involved. Juff has been quite a decent start to life at West Ham. Paquetá, he gets in a lot of tackles, interceptions. He's going to be a tough tackling display from him. Kudus returning to the London Stadium. I couldn't resist putting him in. And up front, Richarlison and Brennan Johnson, I envisage, will keep his place, and he likes a goal in a big game. So that is my team. If you think your team can get more points than me, sign up on the QR code. It's completely free to enter. Join the private pot code. It's also, if you want to join, if you go on the app and you just want to type in the code, it's WATTV-04. I'll type it in the chat for people who want to click on the app. It's WATTV-04 to join the private pot code on BetMate. So go and scan the QR code, download BetMate, and put your knowledge to the test and take me and Ben on this week for a chance of winning up to £100 in prize money. And there's loads of different games that you can play. Any different Premier League game you can play as well on the app. And also there's a 3 p.m. game where all the 3 p.m. games get put together and you choose a team out of the games at 3 p.m. There's loads of different games on there. It's lots of fun. So go check it out. Show some love to our sponsors, BetMate. QR code is on screen. I'll be on screen throughout the whole video. All right, but without further ado, let's get into the predicted lineup. Brian, it's going to be a bit of a difficult one, this one, because a lot of new signings through the door. You know, also, you've got to take into account we were dreadful against Bournemouth. So does he change a few things from that game? Is there going to be some element of you know, playing players out of form and players deserving to be dropped from that game? You know, with the international break, apparently, what's it called? Everyone's come back clean bit of health from the international break, but there's also an element of, you know, Muani stayed behind, so he's had 2 weeks with Frank. Does he get the nod? So a lot of different things. We'll get into who we think is going to play. Just quickly run through the team news as we'll get the team news up there. So Dominic Solanke, Frank revealed, is still out. He says he doesn't think it's going to be too long, but he remains unavailable. And he joins, obviously, the long-term injuries of Maddison, Kulusevski, Radu Dragushin, who has returned to training, by the way, if you can see in the training videos, but probably still a few weeks away from first-team action. And also Kota Takai and Yves Bissouma. Not 100% sure the timelines on their injuries, but I believe they're still unavailable for the weekend. But yeah, those are the current situations. Brian, we were talking off air. You feel there could be a change of formation in this one?
I do, and also I want to add, before I go into the formation, you added all the things before, bad against Bournemouth, bad, and the other things you added. I think we've also got to look at it now. We're going into a period where it's 2 games a week, and squad rotation and keeping an eye on the Champions League squad and who he wants to play is also vital. I don't know why. We were talking about it on Tottenham Tour earlier. I've just got a sneaky suspicion that set pieces could be vital in this game for us. And I think there could be a back three. I think, I mean, that's just obviously me thinking, not guaranteeing, but did it against Paris Saint-Germain. We all thought he was going to do it against Manchester City, and he didn't. And I think everyone's thinking right now he'll go 4-2-3-1 against West Ham. I've just got a sneaky feeling a Thomas Frank curveball could be in store. What do you reckon?
Look, I think he will go forward to back, but I understand the logic of what you're thinking, because Potter kind of threw a bit of a curveball, didn't he, in the last game against Forest, because he went forward at the back when majority of the season he's been playing 3 at the back and kind of took Forest by surprise, and they won the game 3-0. There's a lot of different elements as well. Could he just look spring surprise? Is 4 at the back the best way to play against this West Ham team? I just think if he plays 5 at the back, who misses out? And does he go 5-3-2 like against PSG? Is it 3-4-3? Do you want to take a midfielder out? If we play 5 at the back, is there no Simmons in there? Where do you fit Simmons in? Does he play off the left, potentially? I guess that's possible.
Or Sarr comes out, ready for Champions League, and he plays the number 10.
That's also another element to this. Champions League on Tuesday.
Correct.
You know, is he going to want to rest players potentially going into that game? The reality is he's got to think about that game, doesn't he? When he comes to selection here. So where does he put his main resources? Is it full strength here, rest players on Tuesday, or is it rest players here, full strength on Tuesday? Some big decisions to be made. Obviously, in goal, we're going to go Vicario.
Yep.
I think we're going to stick with 4-2-3-1 because I can't see him going 3 at the back. I think maybe on Tuesday though. Does he go 3 at the back on Tuesday? Maybe that's a discussion for another time. I do think he goes 4 at the back here. Right back. I've seen a lot of people saying this game they would put Spence at right back.
I'm one of them.
Because you're one of them.
I'm one of them.
Because their biggest threats, on the wings with Bowen and Paquetá or Somerville. Yep. If you could just stop them, they're all of a sudden that transition threat is a lot less, isn't it? So go on.
No, I was about to say as well, one of the things that I was mentioning on top as well, what we've got to do this year, and this is the main reason that I'm saying Spence as well. One of the main things we've got to do this year is obviously squad rotation, game management, keep players fit, keep players fresh, because we all know what happened last season, how badly it suffered. Pedro Porro's gone away and played 180 minutes with Spain. He's also played a load of minutes in the Premier League. He came off against Bournemouth, obviously, and Spence moved over. And I'm thinking, will he want to give Porro rest and have him ready for Tuesday? Or, because Destiny's also got some minutes in his legs, so I'm thinking about it more on the fitness level and trying to keep Porro as fit and fresh as possible. So I am one of the ones that think Spence may be at right back, or I would put him there for sure. And I think there's a very good chance for it.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think I agree with what you're saying. A Doggy probably needs a start because he's had a whole international break to get fit, and obviously he came on against Bournemouth, didn't he? So he's had that little bit of period to build himself up. So he should be all right to start. Hasn't had the games over the international break. Porro's been overplayed a lot. He's been overplayed for about 2 years, but regardless of that, he's had 290 minutes for Spain. Spence has only had a 20-minute cameo. I also just think in general, to combat West Ham, it might be the best fit, and then get Porro back in the Champions League for European football. So, all right, we're going to go Spence and Udogie, right back and left back then in this one, which it'll be nice to see. I mean, we haven't seen those two, have we, start together?
Not for a long, long time.
I'm trying to think. Have we ever seen them start together?
I think they start. Oh yeah, they would have started. They started together for the West Ham game, didn't they? Not West Ham, sorry, Manchester United, the first Ange game. And then Bournemouth.
No, because that would have been Porro. That would have been Porro.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, no, Spence, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're right. Sorry, you're right. You're completely, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
I think
Spence
you're
and
right,
the doggy.
yeah.
I tell you what, I remember that. I do think actually there was one game they started, and it was we played Southampton. We beat them 5-0. Remember that was Spence's like big game, big comeback.
Yeah.
And then the doggy I think got injured after like 20 minutes. So then Spence had to like move to left
That's
back
right.
after like
and
20
Porro,
minutes.
you're right.
And Porro came on. So I think that might have been the only time we've seen him, and it was only for 20 minutes. So
anyway, and the Southampton and the Bournemouth game for whatever minutes it was, but
Bournemouth what last season?
No, this season.
This season. Sorry, yeah, for 20 minutes at the end.
So obviously they haven't started together, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, because of Spence doing so well at left back, I think there's a lot of people underestimating how good Destiny can be when he gets full throttle.
I agree. I've seen a lot of people. This is not me disrespecting Spence at all, but I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, Spence is, he's our number one left back. He's a better left back than the doggy, and he's better at him defensively, and he should be the number one." And look, I think Spence deserves to be our number one at the moment because he's playing well and he's got the shirt. And until he's not playing well, there's no reason to take him out. I just think, for me, this is my personal opinion. When a doggy's been at his best, I think he's been better than Spence. That's just my opinion. Like what we saw from him last season when he came in for Spence in that Europa League one, he was incredible. And I know Spence has played well, and he's fully deserved his England call up. No disrespect to him. I just feel a doggy offers us a bit more on that left-hand side. And people say, Spence is better defensively. And I think in the moment they're probably right, but people forget. I remember we were saying when the doggy first came in, he was locking up Salah, he was locking up Saka, he was playing some brilliant games against some top wingers. And we were saying, this guy, his physicality, like he's really difficult to play against. And I think because he's had injury problems and sometimes when he's come back from injuries, he's not been at his best like straight away.
Exactly.
People forget how good he is when he is at 100%.
Well, look how good he was at the end of the Europa League run.
Yeah.
He came back and obviously pre-season he picked up that knock. I think Destiny is, like you said, Spence has completely... I think he is a better left back than he is right back at the moment because we've seen him mainly there and he's looked brilliant there. But I think Destiny is a very, very good left back. We've got to remember now, this is people may have said it's defensive duty. Sometimes he's slacking. He's going to be working under Thomas Frank now. So hopefully Thomas Frank will be able to coach him on the flaws that he has and upgrade him. I think you look at it, if Porro gets rested, and not just for this game or whatever, it's much better having Spence on the right rather than an Archie Gray or whatever, or whoever we do it, when you've got Destiny sitting there. So I think this could be a very powerful force. All
right, centre backs. Romero, Van de Ven, any dispute on that? I mean, Danso, is he coming in? We know Dragoshin and Takai, they're not going to be available. So it's really only does Danso come in for this game with a view of Tuesday as well? I still think we'll probably just go Romero, Van de Ven, don't we?
Yeah, I think maybe Danso, like I said with the back five, maybe Danso gets a chunk of the second half and not like a 10 minutes to rest one of them. So one of them do get a little bit of a rest. But yeah, you can't go against Romero and Van de Ven.
All right, Romero, Van de Ven. I agree. I think they both come in, so that's going to be the back line. In midfield, this gets a bit interesting because I assume it's not going to be the same midfield on Saturday as it is going to be on Tuesday. I assume anyway. It might not be. But who plays when? Because we got Pauli. Like, if you look at our midfield, right? First of all, Bergvall came on against Bournemouth and was brilliant. So a lot of people, much better than what we had. So a lot of people say he deserves a start. Paulinho had a shocking game against Bournemouth, but has been largely brilliant overall. Bentancur, he is also didn't have a great game against Bournemouth, probably not as bad as Paulinho, but didn't have a great game. But again, has been largely brilliant. Pape Sarr, a lot of people saying he's undroppable at the moment. And then you throw in Xavi Simons, who's our only number 10. He needs to start. So who the hell Archie Gray? I mean, he's kind of the forgotten man at the moment because I can't really see a place for him in this midfield with all the other players, how they're playing. So who the hell do we play in this game? With a view of Tuesday as well. Is Tuesday going to be the game when we need more experience? And maybe this game, do we throw in a Bergvall next to a Paulinho or something? Or maybe with it being a big London derby and a feisty game, do we need some cooler heads there?
Well, you look at it, first of all, with Paulinho, can he play 2 games a week? Obviously, we've seen him go full throttle for 90 minutes. And obviously, when you mentioned the Bournemouth game, in my opinion, Vicario and Van der Ven were the only starters that come off with any kind of praise from the Bournemouth game. So we lacked creativity. Bergvall, I completely agree with you. When he came on, he was the one that was looking to get the ball forward. I think the biggest question mark out of the two, when we're doing the two, is does Paulinho start this game? Or is he looking mainly for the Champions League game? And again, the same with Paulinho. Could he be subbed, depending on the score, early to refresh him? I mean,
I get a feeling Bergvall might start this game because he came on, did well.
Yep.
And I think as well, I don't think he's going to start on Tuesday. I got a feeling he's going to be on the bench on Tuesday because it's, you Champions League, you want to get off to a good start. You might need that bit of Champions League experience, on that first game. So I got a feeling Bergvall might not start on Tuesday. So I've got a feeling maybe he comes in on this one.
I could easily go with that. This is the thing. What we all got to remember now, and the people watching, it's all well and good saying the strongest 11.
Yeah.
But now comes the time, and we've got to remember, this is brand new territory for Frank as well.
That's what I was about to say. Frank even said in his press conference he doesn't know his strongest 11 because he's still learning about the squad.
Exactly. So, and he's not had to do this 2 games a week, European, or he's done 2 games a week. But I mean, at this level with European football, he's really going to have to rotate, refresh, and keep everyone sharp. So I could easily, put it this way, if I see Bergvall starting, I'd be happy. I think he deserves a start. Yeah,
I just got a feeling Bergvall's going to be in. But then who does he partner? Is it Paulinho or is it Bentancur or even Gray or Sarr?
North London. Well, put it this way. Should we just say this? Do you reckon Simmons is having his debut?
I think so. I think Simmons is going to make it because judging by, first of all, the training, what a lot of the coaches were saying, which was get it to Simmons, let him create, let him do what he wants. Okay, already it's like there's a big focus on him, it seems. I don't think they're saying in training, just give it to Sarr and let him do what he wants. You know what I mean? So, clearly we need that player, and there's already a focus on him. And
so the reason I said that...
And also, quickly, Frank also said he's a little further along than Muani in his, being ready. So I think that he's kind of saying, look, he's kind of ready to play.
So the reason I said go there first, because now you look at Bergvall and Simmons, it's a London derby, it's going to be feisty, it's going to be spicy. You're going to want an experienced player in that midfield, aren't you?
Yes,
so I think it then becomes a Paulinho or a Bentancur, and you depend which one.
Correct. But all of a sudden I'm looking at that thinking, is Bergvall and Simmons together a bit too lightweight? I don't know now.
I don't think it's lightweight. Bergvall likes to mix it up, doesn't he?
I kind of feel if you've got those two, though, you're going to want, I think you're going to want Paulinho over Bentancur just because you want that, because Paulinho's got the ability to potentially compensate for those two players because of his dual winning ability. He can send so many duels. Bentancur's a good duel winner, but he doesn't win enough to compensate if one of the others is lacking, whereas Paulinho can do that. And I think having Paulinho there next to a Bergvall who can progress the ball up might help him. So, all right, we're going to go Paulinho.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Sim, with that, we've just done the defence and midfield. How much stronger does that bench look now when you can say Porro, Bentancur, Sarr are on the bench? Compared to benches we've seen, and this is just from we've wanted a stronger bench. Having those three, we've just that they're 3 people that can come on and impact a game. João Paulinho, let's do it.
All right, on the right hand side, guessing we're going to go Mo Kudus, his return to the London Stadium. That's going to be a feisty storyline. He's going to get a feisty reception. I'm so intrigued to see how he reacts. I think you learn a lot about a player's character in these kind of moments. Do they crumble in these moments? Is he going to thrive in these moments? So we'll kind of get to see what kind of character he is, won't we?
And I think so as well. And obviously, he's going to have a huge impact. And could this be another reason why he does Spence? Because if you look at Bournemouth, Kudus didn't drag back as much as he did against Manchester City and Burnley. So does he want Spence there for the extra ground coverage so he doesn't get exploited as much as Semenyo did with Porro? But I think Kudus is going to be obviously so up for this. It's going to be a major, major thing for him. And I think he's going to have a cracker of a game. I really do.
Up front, I think Richarlison's there because I think Muani, he's kind of implied it's come a bit too soon for him. He's not saying that he's out. He's saying he's available, but the way he says, like, Simmons is a bit further ahead, things like that, that kind of implies, okay, maybe he's not quite ready to just start yet. Maybe he'll be on the bench. So I think Rishi's in good form anyway. I know he didn't have a great game against Bournemouth, but he's in good form. So I think Rishi goes up front. We agree with that. We know Solanke's out anyway. Off the left, this is an interesting one. Johnson had a mare in the last game, but he has got 2 goals in 3. Didn't have a particularly great international break. Obviously, he's got Tell, who could play there. He's got Odebear, who can play there. And he's got maybe even Muani, who's, I don't know if you saw the training clips, but he was playing on the left quite a bit. So is that something that's in Frank's mind? And also, talking about Muani, I know he said, it's true he said that Simmons is ahead of him, but he has had 2 weeks of him, like just them two, essentially, for a lot of that time. So has he got him up to speed quicker? Is he ready to just come in, having had 2 weeks, or is he going to start on the bench? There's also an element of, with Tell, there's obviously a massive thing about him being left out the squad. Is he going to show a bit of a public vote of confidence of him to put him straight in the week after he's been left out the Champions League, or just to send him a message saying, look, I know you've been left out, but I really believe in you. Like, you're not left out because I don't rate you. There's an element there as well. And also, you can also say Odebear, because he came on against Bournemouth, did all right. He's had a decent pre-season, and he's probably been worth a start as well. And obviously, Frank prefers him because he picked him over Tell in the squad, didn't he? So I think there's a case for all these players.
I'm going to stick to what I said on Tottenham Tour. I think it's to be Odebear. I really do. But I hadn't. One of the things that I think is actually going to help Tottenham as well is with Dragushin and Tell being left out of the Champions League squad. Like you just correctly said, games before or games after Champions League, or when the League Cup is being played, I think this is where you're going to see a return in Dragushin when he's ready, and Tell be available and be able to do their bit for the team, so players can rest and have their minutes. So I was going Odebear, but now you've thrown Tell in the mix, and before the Champions League, that's an interesting one. And he's just done well for France, hasn't he? He's scored 2 bangers,
goals, yeah.
But they were actually coming off the right, weren't they? So
on his left foot,
it's going to be a great I personally said Odebear, but now you've said Tell, that is a discussion.
Yeah, I've got a feel. I just have a feeling it's not going to be Johnson.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's not. So I've got a feeling it's going to be one of Tell or Odebear. I don't know. I'm undecided. I think obviously Odebear he prefers because he's picked him, but also he's spoken very highly of Tell in his press conference. Is he going to want to just give him that opportunity because he's left out the Champions League squad, knowing that he can't play on Tuesday? He can't play. So does he give him that opportunity in this game? But then again, I don't think he's just handing out opportunities for free. You've got to earn it. Has Odebear earned it more than Tell? Maybe he has.
I mean, for example, I think Tell is 100% starting against Doncaster. I think it'll be one of the first names in the team sheet, but that's a week and a half away. And obviously we've got Villarreal, he can't play. Brighton, maybe he does. I personally thought Odebear.
You know what? I actually do think it is going to be Tell, just based off looking at the front line, and there's not really if you put an Odebear there, where are the goals coming from? You know what I mean? You got Kudus and Odebear on the wing, where they're both like kind of similar players, aren't they? Whereas Tell's a bit that little bit different profile, where he's going to get nearer and nearer the box. Hopefully, he's going to get shots off.
Yeah.
So maybe that would make more sense. All right, we're going to go with Tell for this one. So the team is Vicari in goal, Spence, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogi, Bergval, Paulinho, and Simmons in the middle, with Kudus, Tell, and Richarlison up front, which means the likes of Muani, Sarr, Bentancur, Porro, Odebear, all on the bench for this one. We're having him all on the bench, which is, making our bench seem quite healthy. Exactly. And also, I do wonder where it leaves people like Dane Scarlett, who's still here as well. I don't know how he's ever going to get a look in, but obviously he's still here.
Yep.
But yeah, if that's the team, Brian, what do you think of a score prediction?
3-1 Spurs.
3-1 Spurs. That's what was my prediction as well. I think logically that should be the result, given the differences between the two teams. But you just know West Ham, don't you, in this fixture? They've always got that ability to just turn up out of nowhere, don't they? And,
they have. But when was the last time we came back from international duty with a clean bill of health? Like a complete clean bill of health, and we can put the side out like that. I just think the away end is going to be a carnival atmosphere, and they'll get the lads going. Obviously, if we can get an early goal, you know that West Ham ground is going to start going against the ownership, and I think Graham Potter is in banging trouble.